Yes, guys, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy, back with another video. Of course, in this video, I want us to talk about William Saliba. He is known for sale. That is the big headline. And of course, according to Chris Whitley, we might see William Saliba in July fighting for his place at Arsenal. That and more is coming up in this show. Really, we need to talk about William Saliba, the future of the young Arsenal defender that is very, very uncertain. Arsenal is looking for a new centre back, but what about Saliba? What do we do with him? Do me a favor, smash the like buttons, get your small fingers, and subscribe to the channel as well. Press the notification bell so that you don't miss anything in regards to Arsenal news. And of course, if you want anything with betting, it is 1xbet. Link is in the description. Use promo code Cossy Media. You'll be able to win thousands and thousands of gifts, in smartphones, in smart TVs. You could also redeem up to $130 with your first deposit. So make sure you log in, you register, and then you'd make your first deposit. You'll be able to win up to $130 on your first deposit. Now, according to Chris Whitley, this is what he said. Contrary to reports, William Saliba will not be included in a swap deal for any player this summer, and sources have told Football.London that he will report for pre-season duty in July, where he is expected to fight for a place in the Arsenal defense. Now, this is really fascinating for me. Really, really fascinating. First and foremost, contrary to reports, Saliba will not be included in any swap deal for any player in this summer, and sources have told Football.London that that he will report for preseason duty in July, where he is expected to fight for a place in the Arsenal defense. That is as per Chris Whitley, and for me, it's a relaxing piece. It's a really, really relaxing piece. I've talked about Saliba before, and I think with David Louis leaving the club, I've talked about William Saliba more than ever, and I said, for me, it is time to see Saliba. We might not see him regularly, 38 games in a season or 30 games in a season, obviously because he's young, he's just 20 years of age. But that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that he's not ready. You might want to protect him as a player, as a young player. Arsenal might want to protect him, probably give him only 25 games in a season, only 28 games in a season. That's pretty understandable. We have the likes of Rob Holding that could cover, the rest of the mileage. But Arsenal going for a new centre back in Edmund Top-Suba or a couple of other players, because according to Chris Whitley and David Ornstein, they're saying it is true that Arsenal are looking at the centre back as one of their priority targets. And I'm asking myself, what about William Saliba? Why did we sign him in the first place? And why is he still here? Is he gonna go out on loan? Is he going to go, in a swap deal? Are you gonna sell him? Are you gonna cash in on him? Now, according to Chris Whitley, the player is not for sale. The player will not be included in any summer swap deal. He's gonna come back at Arsenal and fight for his place. And I think, honestly, if there is a player that I've rated so much at a very young age, that is William Saliba. I've rated the likes of Marquinhos as well. I've rated the likes of Fofana as well. But I really rate Saliba so much, and I hope it doesn't disappoint me when it comes, to Arsenal. So next season, we could see William Saliba at the club. How many people would love to see William Saliba start with Gabriel, or William Saliba start with Pablo Mari? I think he has the ability to complement Pablo Mari. He has the ability to complement Gabriel as well, despite both of them being both playing centre backs. But I think Saliba is a little bit quicker. Saliba is a little bit more calm. And I think, in the air, I think Saliba is also good enough. So I think the complementarity will arrive. Maybe what Arsenal is afraid of and what Mikel Arteta is afraid of is the fact that all these defenders, all these players are still very young, and that's understandable, honestly. 20 years in Saliba, 22 years in Gabriel, then you have 23 years in Kian Tierney. If you brought in Max Aaron, so around 22 as well, it would be, it could be a little bit frightening. an average age of 22, 21 actually, in your defense, it's a little bit frightening. You need that experience, you need that pedigree, and that's what I said. If Arsenal were going to go out for pedigree and experience in terms of searching for a centre back, I would be 100% in supporting Arsenal. But the moment we've tried to go for players like Tapsoba, who's 22 years of age, then it doesn't make sense. It loses the meaning, because you have Saliba, who is almost at the same level as Tapsoba. It's like, you just want to splash money around. Mikel Arteta doesn't trust the player, and for me that's ridiculous. You've not given a player a chance. You've not seen how you've not seen how he performs. Last season, he said the player was not ready. He went through a lot. The previous season with Nice, with Saint-Etienne. Sorry, he spoke so many things showing how the player was not ready. In January this year, he went out on loan with Nice, and he's done so well, very, very well. So for me, Arsenal have got to give Saliba the chance. It is now or never. You can't sign a player 2 years, he's out of the squad, out on loan, and he's proving to be a very integral part of the squad where he's been. You've got to give him a chance, unless there is something political against William Saliba. I mean, last season, it was more of, actually it was this season when reports came out that Saliba couldn't play for Arsenal because if he was included in the squad, there was some amount of money Arsenal was supposed to pay to Saint-Etienne. So that's the reason as to why we didn't include the player in the squad. I was like, really? Come on. Is that all you got? Is that the reason as to why the player is not playing? But at the moment, I would love to see William Saliba, and I think we're gonna see William Saliba. Mikel Arteta has no choice, whether he has something against the player, whether he is in total consensus with the idea of the player playing regular football at Arsenal. I think right now he doesn't have an excuse. The only thing Saliba has to do, prove to the manager that you're worth it. Try to be a little bit disciplined. I didn't like the way he was acting when he went out on loan in January, speaking this and that about the manager, how he's disappointed. You know what? That he lacked professionalism. But he's a young player that needs a lot of guidance, and that's why I really came out and said for Saliba to come out shouting like this on Mikel Arteta's head, it's not professional. But he's a young player, and you've got to let something slide. And he's a very, very quality player. So there's a lot to learn. I mean, PR management. What do you say? What don't you say? The likes of Lucas Torreira, we've seen, Torreira and his father speaking, this and this. We want to go to Boca. We want to do this. We want to do that. They've spoken again about a potential move to Atletico Madrid, and I think that's something that we have to discuss probably, sometime tomorrow. But for Saliba, I think he's a young player, and Mikel, as a manager, you've got to let those things slide. I don't want Mikel to keep the grudges. Saliba say this about me. I'm the manager. I'm the boss. I'm gonna show him that he's that I'm the manager around here. Everybody understands you're the manager, and one of the big things that we expect of Mikel as a manager is to handle these players, man management. How do you handle the likes of Saliba? How do you handle the likes of Matteo Guendouzi? Because they're disgruntled. They feel they deserve playing time. They feel they need to be part of this squad, but they have not got the chance at the moment. Guendouzi has been out on loan in Germany. He's doing so well. The likes of Mavropanos are out on loan in Germany. They're doing so well. Saliba is out on loan in France. He's doing so well. The likes of Joe Willock. So it's really a big job as a manager. And if Mikel feels that he's the right person to take Arsenal forward, this is the time. What do you do with Willock? What do you do with Edin Ketia? He's done nothing wrong, and that's where the managerial job becomes very hard. Players that are so loyal, players that have done absolutely nothing wrong, could actually have to leave the club just like that. And what do you do with that? Do you sympathize with them and keep them? However much they are loyal but not good enough, do you let them go? That is being ruthless. So I think with Mikel, he's making the right decision to call back William Saliba. you're just gonna create a lot of criticism on your head. Why is Saliba not playing last season? We've had so many defensive problems with Rob Holding, with the likes of Chambers, with the likes of Pablo Mari, and all the time you've seen. Whenever Arsenal struggle defensive-wise, the next question was, where is Saliba? Why is he not playing? And all the burden has been going down to Mikel Arteta. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it. He deserves it, because if you have a player of the quality and caliber of Saliba, such a generational talent, such a phenomenal talent, you've got to use them. If you do not use them, you're gonna be blamed, and it came at a very bad time when Brendan Rodgers had proven to us that Wesley Fofana, who was the pair to Saliba at Saint Etienne the season before, had proven to be very, very good in the Premier League. So there was no reason Mikel was giving us, for Saliba not to play football. But anyway, let's wait in July when the player officially comes back and see what's gonna happen. Is Mikel gonna take his pride away and give him a chance? At least the positive news is, Arsenal, as per football.london, there will not be any negotiations for the player. And I would love to read this quote again. Contrary to reports, Saliba will not be included in any swap deals for any player this summer. And sources have told football.london that he will be reporting for preseason duty in July, where he's expected to fight for a place at Arsenal. My name is Cossy. I've been speaking about William Saliba and the situation around the centre-back position at Arsenal, especially the right-footed centre-back. And basically, what I want to make clear is Arsenal need a centre-back with experience at the moment. If you're bringing in a young centre-back, it should be William Saliba. Let's not waste a lot of money. You have Rob Holding, who's just signed a new contract. You have William Saliba, who has signed for almost 30 plus million from Saint Etienne. You just need an experienced centre back. Pablo Mari, I don't think he gives us that, but probably a player like Kalidou Koulibaly, the likes of Paul Torres, the likes of Tapsoba, the likes of Jules Koundé. Forget about that. What Arsenal need in that defense is experience at the moment. So Saliba coming back, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. Smash the like button on this video, and I'll speak to you in the next one.